Hello, this is going to be my rant about the PS5 Pro, but not the same kind of rant that everyone else is doing. Um, Slightly different colour scheme. Um, I don't get why people complain about the price. It's for what it's going to be doing. It's going to be a bargain as such. Um, the main problem of all this comes down from Microsoft and Sony missing the 1440p bracket. They should have gone 1080p to 1440p, 60 FPS, put ray tracing on there, and that should have been the thing for a while. And then say like a couple of years time, do the whole 4K thing. They were never ready for 4K. The machines were never designed to run 4K, and the PS5 Pro cannot run 4K. It's having to do 4K 60 FPS, and on some of those games, it's going to be running checkerboard and its own version of DLSS and stuff like that. So even it can't do that, and I'm not surprised because, like I said, these more expensive. Running these flat out, some of the games you can't even run it native. You do have to go with DLSS on these as well. So I don't have a problem with that price bracket at all because they've, they've put themselves in a corner where consumers want something which they see is as good as this, but for pennies, that kind of thing compared to it. And it's you just can't do it. It's not possible to make something as good as that for the price that people want to pay. They're grumbling over the 700 and they're acting as though it should be 500. But if they do that, you're not going to get this machine that everyone's gone on about. So you're going to have to pay that kind of money if you want it. If enough people turn around in the future and nobody's willing to pay this kind of money, then Microsoft and Sony, they're going to have to step down and make the machines less powerful but more affordable. They should have done that already, and they shouldn't be onto the 4K thing, but well. That's not to say it won't sell out, because I'm pretty sure it probably will sell out. Even though it's the whole digital thing, which I can understand why a lot of people are dragging the heels over that. I did with the whole PC thing, because obviously they started off with drives and everything. And I was like, oh, no, not the whole download, not for me. But that was always going to happen, and it's happening a lot faster than what people planned. I'll give you a reason for that. Back in about 2008, I was a manager for a game store, and we had a big meeting, and one of the top boys came in, gave us a big speech, and he said, guys, hardware will still be around in the future, but physical sales, he said, will be non-existent. In 50 years' time, everything will be download. I'm like, oh, all right, okay. But I can remember looking at things like Steam and how it was growing, thinking, I don't think it's going to be 50 years, mate. And looking at the way things going, I would say by the next 10 years, physical copy of games will be gone. I think it's happened literally in half the amount of time that he was planning on being. It's just snowballing now. And the only thing that really holds it back is the internet. Depending where you live and the speeds that you get, that's the only thing that's really kind of slowing things down or holding things back, is that how fast people can get hold of the games and how easy and how dependable as well. So yeah, the whole digital side of the PS5 Pro, I get it why people don't like it, but again, it's the future. If it's not today, tomorrow it's going to happen. You can't stop that, and it's another way of cutting down on the costs as well. Now, the whole stand thing not being there, I'm sure there'll be something on AliExpress or Amazon. Some third-party company will knock one off in no time, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But again, it will sell out. It's just Sony's problem at this moment in time is they have nothing to sell it with. And this kind of impacts onto this. I said about the 5090 that's coming out, you won't see it until next year because they've got nothing to sell it with. Normally when these cards come out, they've got a game. Going back, say Witcher, I think was the last ones, and then after that you had Cyberpunk, and those were usually when I did a full machine upgrade to play the latest and greatest. So they normally have, say, a game that comes out, I think. Even if you have the 4090, you can't make it look like this unless you've got a 5090. So people go and buy the 5090. There's nothing this year. That's all next year. So that's why I was saying the 5090 won't come out this year, it'll come out next year because I'll have something to sell it with. And this is Sony's problem. They've got this new PS5 Pro coming out, but they've got no games to make it go wow. The last Pro had Horizon Zero Dawn, where they showed off the 4K. It was 4K checkerboard, where people looked at it with the HDR and everything and were like, wow, look at that. And people were really impressed that this machine could do that. They don't have anything like that for the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's next year. So that's the only stumbling block, is they don't have anything that they can use to help sell the machine. But again, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. I think the machine will sell out. And I think one of the things that will go into people's minds anyway is that those who do depend on consoles and play console all the time, they're like, I'm not going to buy that, I'm not going to buy that, I'm not going to buy that. Well, I know there's a game coming out, going to be at the very end of next year, be just before Christmas probably, that will make people buy that machine, and that's going to be Grand Theft Auto 6. People will want to play that all singing, all dancing, 60 FPS, 4K, it's going to be checkerboard probably, with whatever kind of ray tracing they put into it. They're going to want that. And considering some people play that game and literally dedicate their life to it, that £700 price tag, which will probably drop down to say $650 by then, will be nothing. I mean, people are buying phones at like twice the price of that. So people complain about this console that they're going to sit in front of for whether it be an hour or two or most of the day, depending on your age and your time that you've got in your hands. It's a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, if you want that kind of fidelity, you want that kind of tech, you have to pay for it. So I get the griping and groaning, but welcome to the PC world where we have to pay this kind of money. So yeah, it's a case of suck it up. The only thing which it's an annoying thing from a parent point of view is every parent wants to get their kids the latest and greatest, whether it be clothing or like things for school or toys, consoles, whatever it is. And to them, obviously, it's hard for many young kids to understand that they can't get this because of the price of the thing. And there's some kids have never even seen a console yet because obviously maybe don't have the money to spend, and things aren't particularly good for them. And those kind of people my heart bleeds for. You know what I mean? It'd be nice that everybody gets a chance to have a bit of escapism on some kind of machine in one form or way or the other. But so yeah, there will be a lot of parents out there that will be gutted to see that kind of price, knowing that their kid maybe wants it or something like that. So for the younger generation, I would dare say the PS5 Pro is not going to be something on many kids' Christmas lists. It's going to be more so for the teens and upwards, really. There might be a few lucky young kids who have got parents who've got that kind of money to spend. But yeah, it does kind of take that little bit of the market away from the families that don't have that kind of money to spend, where the PS5, what was it, like 400 or 500, was breaking the bank. Never mind this one. So yeah, it's a bit sad that it's going to affect it there somewhere. But again, the only other way around things like that is kind of like what Microsoft did, where they brought out two consoles, where one was obviously aimed at 1440p and the one was aimed at supposedly 4K. I got that, but it didn't. I'd have to look at the sales figures as to how well that worked, or what kind of problems it caused for them. But that kind of thing is nice because people are still getting a chance to play it on new games that are coming out, but they might not look as good. But that also kind of puts it into the realm of having a PC, because you can have a PC and you can play these new games, but they won't look as good, but your machine obviously didn't cost as much. Or you can pay a lot of money for your machine and your games look better. So it was kind of like dipping into the kind of PC choice, where if you don't have the money, you buy this console, your games will look like this. You buy this console, your games look like this. Same with the PC. Whereas Sony has basically got the PlayStation 5. I'm not sure what kind of price that'll be at next year. And the Pro, it's took a big jump now. So yeah, it's a tough one. I feel for some parents, but at the same time, if you want this technology, unfortunately, this is the price that goes with it. And but yeah, it will sell out. I don't care what people are saying. That machine will sell out. Anyway, that's my gripe over. Bye.